All right, good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of your forecast. We are going to wait a few moments to let a bunch of people jump in, and then we will get started here momentarily. Going to get this shared with a few other spots and locations, so we'll let a few more people jump in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start here probably around 3:30 or so. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are taking a look at your Viper radar first. We've got a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Excuse me. We're going to take a look at satellite imagery first. We are looking at your visible satellite. So this is just again what you would see in the red, RGB, visible light layer. So you can see all those clouds really just pulsing up here across the central panhandle between Dumas and Amarillo. So that's gonna be where we probably see some of our first showers or initiation for thunderstorm activity for this afternoon. Again, we'll probably see isolated thunderstorms up until about dark tonight, maybe even a little bit after that. But looks like the strongest stuff will be between about now and 9 o'clock tonight. So we've got about a 6 hour window or so for some strong storm development. It's again going to be pretty isolated, so not everyone's going to see that rainfall, but you can see that we've got again a lot of storms trying to billow up there just north of I-40 and a few more as you head down Highway 60 towards Clovis and Farwell back there in eastern New Mexico. Now let's go ahead and take a look at your Viper radar. You can see that we've got a couple of weak showers attempting to develop there between Dumas and Amarillo. These are really an open country. There's not a whole lot of people that are dealing with this stuff, but we will have probably some isolated thunderstorms produce some locally heavy rainfall. Biggest, as far as severe weather concerns would be the winds gusting to maybe 60, 65 miles an hour. Had a couple of severe wind gust reports yesterday with some of these storms as they collapsed, and that's kind of what we expect for today too. As the storm collapses on itself, you may get some of those strong downburst winds. Looks like Fort Sumner and Lake Sumner's got a nice thunderstorm billowing up on top of the lake right now. Nothing going on up here in Quay County yet, but you'll probably see some development here over the next couple of hours. And it looks like we've got a newer thunderstorm trying to pulse up just to the southeast of Portales there in Roosevelt County. So here's a look from really just a regional perspective. You can see we've got some rotation aloft. This is counterclockwise spin. This is an upper level low that models have really been struggling to pick up on. They've been showing just general troughing out here across West Texas through the next couple of days, but they haven't necessarily, depicted a closed upper level low, which from satellite certainly looks like there is some rotation and some spin there. So we maybe do have a upper level low that is closed off from the main flow of the jet stream. Again, very weak in terms of the wind shear with it, but we do have that spin over our heads, and what that's doing is that is providing some dynamic lift aloft to help or aid some of these thunderstorms trying to get going today. So probably going to see some isolated storms. It's today, depending on where this low's at tomorrow, you'll likely see more storms try and get going and develop again, where we have some of the best lift and some of the best moisture. You can see a nice tongue of moisture wrapping up through North Texas right now. We may see some additional development out here later this afternoon. But currently, again, looks like the best daytime heatings occurred there on top of the Cap Rock, and we're starting to see some storms trying to fire there for the moment. But again, this whole low pressure system is drifting to the north, and so we'll probably watch it just kind of drift over our heads, and that's going to be one of the reasons why we've got some focused lift across the high plains. Temperature-wise, we are a little bit warmer than normal, 95 here in Amarillo, but we are not in the triple digits right now in any place. 99, very close there in Guyman. 97 in Canadian. Looking at your dew points, they're kind of like they were yesterday, a lot of 50s and 60s. So we've got plenty of moisture, especially aloft, for storms to have some pretty efficient rain rates. The biggest concern for the flooding would be a storm billows up, doesn't have much forward progression, and we just see 1 to 2 inch an hour rain rates for 60 to 90 minutes. So that could lead to some pockets that pick up a couple inches of rainfall here over the course of this afternoon. The Storm Prediction Center, they have a general thunderstorm risk across the area. They don't have us under any kind of severe weather hazard or risk, but that being said, just like yesterday, we've got enough dry air underneath that moist layer aloft that we'll probably get some stronger wind gusts around that 55 to 60 mark. So wouldn't be shocked to maybe see a rogue severe wind gust here or there. It's just going to be very isolated. Here's the Canadian rivers forecast, currently sitting at 3.84 feet in terms of the level. If you convert that to the flow rate, it's about 900 cubic feet per second, which equates to anywhere from about 70 to 75 acre feet of water an hour that flows underneath the bridge there on Highway 87. So that's all water headed to Lake Meredith. It's gained about 500 acre feet since yesterday. We could see a few thousand flow into it over the next couple of days. And so that lake probably going to come up another 5 to 6 inches here over the next 24 hours. And we may see it even come up another foot or so if we kind of over exceed expectations on how much water is expected to push into the area. So here's our computer model. You can see we've got some sporadic showers and thunderstorms out west tonight. That's kind of where we think the best favored areas will be. Some more storms in the eastern panhandle tomorrow afternoon. And then on Thursday, this may be the day of highest interest for us for rain chances. It's not necessarily a backdoor front, just a really shallow layer of cooler air maybe spilling in from the north. If you guys have heard the term corn sweat, it's kind of that time of the year up there in the Midwest. Got a lot of humidity up there, dew points in the 70s, even into the 80s. And so some of that's actually going to get pushed down with that boundary and may help increase some of those rain rates for some storms that try and get going on Thursday afternoon. You can see we've got a pretty good complex trying to billow up there in the late evening hours on Thursday. That may be a day where we have better coverage of storms across the area. But generally speaking, it's just going to come down to where this ridge of high pressure sets up. It's far enough away that we are still seeing some of these storms billow up on an isolated level, hit and miss fashion, and that's how the rest of this week plays out. As we move into the weekend, we do start to see this thing retrograde west some, and you can see there's kind of two areas of high pressure. This is expected to actually lift up into the Canadian Prairie, moving into next week. So we may get a short-term stretch of hot weather as we head into this weekend and maybe that first day or two next week. But as it continues to lift further north, we may actually kind of cool off a little bit and see those temperatures relax back into the lower and mid 90s. So still no triple digits in your forecast for right now. But for the next 4 to 5 days, with all the moisture present, and again with the ridge being displaced to our east, we get these small disturbances or ridge riding disturbances that help kickstart some of these storms that we're seeing in the afternoons. And that's really how the rest of this week is going to play out. That is all we've got for you for your afternoon update. Should we get any severe storms this evening, we'll